Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to actually work, but here we are in our first vlog stream. So, hello, I'm John, and this is the beginning of doing some vlogs on this platform. And we'll take these vlogs and put them up someplace, but I think it's a good opportunity to do something a little different and to conquer a fear. So, as you can see by the title of this vlog is Camera Shy Karate Guy. And even though we've been doing podcasts and videos and interviews and stuff like that, doing kind of a sit and talk and being a talking head, as it were, is something we really try to avoid. Mainly because there's a lot of that already out there, but also, I'll be honest, I am a little camera shy. So this is good practice just in terms of speaking, in terms of not going, and depending on editing to take that out, and also just being comfortable in front of a camera. Mainly because this isn't just going to be about karate, that a lot of this is going to kind of revolve around things around karate. And everyone's kind of said, be broader, talk about more things, talk about Japan, you live in Japan. Yes, I do live in Japan. So this is going to be kind of I guess, filling in for a jvlog too. I'm not sure what that means exactly, if that makes me a jvlogger now or whatever. But just wanted to say hello in front of a camera for once. And kind of talk about being a little camera shy. So, what do I mean by being camera shy? It means I'm a very shy person. Kind of. Because I'm not comfortable with looking people in the eyes. At least I wasn't comfortable with that for a long, long time. And I remember one time, very, very distinctly, I was, managing a group of kids. And this was in America. And one of the kind of more loudmouth kids was like, "You have trouble looking people in the eyes!" And she wasn't wrong. And part of that is because I had learned long time ago. You hear the squeakiness in my chair. It's a cheap chair, so that's why you get that. But I learned a long time ago is if you can kind of project in front of a lot of people from theater and singing and whatnot. Oh God, theater and singing. Yeah, I did that. You didn't need to look at people in the eye. You didn't need to make a direct eye contact. That would be weird if you did that. That would be strange if you did that. And so I kind of avoided it. And I felt it would be very easy to just speak and get my points across without having to look anybody directly in the face. And this actually does not work when it comes to teaching. This does not work when it comes to doing karate or teaching in a classroom or anything like that. You need to actually look at people in the eye. Mainly because you need to get their attention. And if you think about a classroom setting, it is actually very boring, especially if you're not moving. It's very easy to drift off. It's very easy to not engage. And a disengaged teacher equals disengaged students, or what people think are very lousy students are, in fact, normally just disengaged. And so needing to learn to look people in the eyes is really important. And that's why everyone says, like, eye contact, eye contact, eye contact, eye contact. And that's why it's so important. And when you're just live in front of somebody, kind of like I am now, but when you're just in front of somebody, you're only there for the amount of time you're there. You're in, you're out, you're done. When it comes to camera stuff, you are essentially, as I guess some people have, I don't know, accurately, inaccurately, I'm not sure where this comes from. This is some supposedly primitive cultures lose their souls to a camera. But the camera takes a piece of you, or a camera takes what would be a permanent image of you as you are at that time, good, bad, or indifferent. guess it looks like I'm wearing hair gel, but really not. It's just hair thinning. I took a video yesterday for Instagram, and yeah, this has got to go. It's got to go. We got to get back to shorter bald. That's where we're gonna go now, because otherwise this just looks like patchy grass. But there's this idea that when people catch you on video or you get on camera, it's gonna show all your flaws, and it'd be really easy to point that out. Like my flaw, my biggest aesthetic flaw, and this is something I've always been very self-conscious about, is that I have kind of messed up teeth. You can kind of see down here, there's a kind of a messed up tooth right here. And people point this out to me. And what's funny is Japan, America, wherever I've been, most people either don't notice it or don't comment on it. It's very polite of them. But it's always comes from the little kid too. If I was ever teaching a little kid, they'll always be like, "What's wrong with your teeth?" And I just tell them, it's like, "Yeah, I got in a fight last night. You should see the other guy." Or just tell them, "Don't worry about it." So what it was, it was supposedly an aesthetic thing that the dentist told my parents, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't have to pay for that dental surgery." Or I didn't want braces when I was little, and then now I have this problem. So speaking in public, speaking in front of the camera has always been a little nervous or nerve-wracking, because people see this, and when people notice an aesthetic flaw in someone, that tends to become the thing they have in the back of their head. They're not listening to what they're saying. They don't really care about what they're saying. They find something very distracting on somebody, ergo they don't take them seriously. Or that's the thing they think about, they're not really listening to what they've got to say. So, in order to overcome that issue is to just speak. To speak in front of the camera. You see me in front of the camera speaking. Messed up tooth and all. Is what it is. And I'm not too bothered by it. Maybe one day I can get it taken care of. We can start a GoFundMe for fixing the tooth. Maybe not. Probably require a year of like a lower brace and whatnot, and something I don't really want to go through, but probably eventually gonna have to make it happen. But why I would be more camera shy has to kind of do with where I'm at now. Is that for the majority of my early adulthood, I was fighting being really heavy, not being really heavy, being really heavy, not being really heavy. And doing karate, everyone expects you to not be heavy. Everyone expects you to look like Bruce Lee. And I don't look like Bruce Lee. I never will look like Bruce Lee. I don't have the hair for it. And I don't have the abs for it. And a lot of what I'm finding now with what I'm doing with my training now is that you do not always need to kind of go to the extra level with training itself. That a lot of rest and diet factor into it more and more, and especially the older I get, the more I'm finding that I need to be careful of that and be careful of those things. But to kind of backtrack, actually what I was saying before, being heavy or not being aesthetically pleasing on camera is one of the reasons for a long time I did not want pictures of myself taken. I think everyone who has this maybe has this piece of self-consciousness that has the same feeling. But when I remember last year when I started, I think it was this year or last year, probably this year. This year feels like a million years because 2020. I drank on camera. Pay me if you don't want that to happen. But if for example, there's one person watching. I think it's me. Okay. Well, if, for example, kind of backtrack on being heavy set and then having yourself filmed and doing karate, well, people want to take a video of you or show you an example of what you're doing or take pictures with you or whatever. And then, you're being the karate guy who's overweight or isn't looking good or isn't looking like the big tough guy. And it makes you really, really self-conscious. And then it makes you feel worse. It doesn't make you feel better. And one of kind of the worst things that ever happened with it was I had gone up significantly in weight. And at that time, there's no excuses you can really make. But in that time, I had a lot of different family issues. I was also in grad school. And anyone who was in grad school or school can tell you that you end up sacrificing your health for no reason, just to appease, more time spent reading, which in the end doesn't really matter. But because having a better health will equate better brain processing power, so you'll be able to read faster. Get the Intel brain. It will work for you. More sleep and more healthy food, more exercise. Grad students should probably have that as their daily regimen before they even do their studying. And at that time, I was also dealing with a lot of issues with, family issues and something, some of my parents weren't doing too well. So I did what anybody did in their early 20s. I drank, ate, and was married, or pretended to be married. And I paid for it. My body paid for it. My weight paid for it. My training paid for it. Running was not fun. Running was not hard. Doing basic karate stuff was hard. It was not fun. And people fall off the boat with it all the time. You stop frowning my brow like that. Look at that. No one wants to watch that. And it was really difficult. And I remember I'd gone to a seminar, and everyone was like, holy crap, John got fat. And there had been a lot of people who had been at that seminar who were not exactly what you call either A, spring chickens, or B, pictures of health. And before that and after that, they weren't that either. They weren't pictures of health either. And I was taken aside by several people and essentially fat shamed, which wasn't fun. And yes, it was a wake-up call. Yes, it was what I kind of needed to hear. But also, it was not what the question should have been. It was a very, very much of, you're fat now. What the hell happened? Why didn't you train? Why did you just give up training? What are you drinking too much or whatever? Which was true. But the big thing was, they weren't asking how I was. They asked how I was, maybe things would have been a little different. But I would have felt they would have cared or something like that. But the only thing they seemed to care about was the fact that I had gained weight, or the fact that I had not been training or something like that. There wasn't actually care for a human being, which was funny because a lot of what these people, it was funny because there was a weird, we do karate, we're also really nice people, and kind of odd mentality that went around in this group. And it wasn't really fair considering a lot of other people were A, not eating right, B, openly smoking in front of kids during a karate seminar, which was outside, but still. And just they were not healthy. And I was a young guy in my early 20s who was having problems, and no one seemed to recognize that. And so what my takeaway from that was always being self-conscious about my weight, always being self-conscious about being filmed and being on film, and worrying about how I sound, and worrying about what I look like. And then also worrying about these other people who honestly didn't care about what else was going on. Just worrying about, can I impress them with my karate? Can I impress them with with how I look? And that's like that's the equivalent of like being a model. That's the equivalent of being which models go through a lot, and they have their own life. If you're a model, whatever. I feel your pain, I guess. But seeing that there was no standard even set by this group about a physical standard for physical health to suddenly come there and be unhealthy, there was no expectation there. There was no level anyone should have been at. So this is why I've always been shy to be on camera. This is why I've always been hesitant to get on and just speak in front of the camera instead of just podcasting, just showing my voice. And so this is now the addition of that. This is me overcoming that. And I hope people are enjoying this. I guess the one person watching, I hope they're enjoying watching what we've got going on. And, there's a lot that I want to say, and there's a lot that I want to talk about. So one thing we're going to be talking about on here is Japan and island life, and how people come to Japan, and what life like is in Japan, on islands, and a lot around karate too. We're going to be working on that, but a lot of life is around karate, and a lot of karate is in life. So if you like what we do on the podcast, this is more an informal chat. And we'll probably have some bro time with a couple different other people coming on. Every now and then, just vlog or chat. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to doing some more. With that, see you later.